some soreness that just, you know, allowed us. I'm not going there. No, I don't believe it was that. I came in and I know that he's over in the treatment. We had a few of the guys that are sore: Gerald Henderson, Jaleel Okafor, Joel Embiid, as Mike said, was, you know, a little bit had the flu. So.
What does it feel like for you after the emotional ups and downs of the past couple of years to now basically have a chance to win any given night?
You feel like the group is coming together. You feel like all the work that we have put in is starting to pay dividends in relation to just a solid foundation. You know, we really haven't done anything differently. We've just sort of stayed the course and, you know, grabbed onto things that we felt were important all over the place: offense, defense, practice habits, studying opponents, what do you do in a weight room, and you know, tried to hold the team together. And I see them moving forward, I see them improving, and I think from that perspective you feel confident and comfortable that the foundation that we're trying to grow can absorb talent. It can absorb people coming in. It can. I've got a staff that can help move people forward and get them better. And I just feel like we've been doing this long enough and hard enough where we haven't sort of blinked. And I feel that we're moving the program in the direction that we want.
Brett, is it easier to coach now? Like you say, all the improvement that's been made and buying in and all. Is it easier maybe because the talent's a little bit better? Is it easier because they've gotten better? Can you do more? Like, how does it affect you as far as day to day?
I think that they're improving. That's the thing I see and feel the most. You know, I see Joel Embiid improving. I see Dario Saric improving. I see Robert Covington growing from being more than just like a catch shot guy. We've all seen the evolution of T.J. McConnell. We're seeing Timmy Luwawu, you know, hit the court, and we're all starting to see him, you know, become a little bit more polished up and more comfortable on an NBA court. You know, everybody has this story. Gerald's been consistent. Like, he's been sort of the rock behind it all. And I think that the improvement that we're seeing within our guys is the thing that I take the most pleasure from. I think you take the individual improvement, you add that up into a team environment where we really, as I said at the beginning, haven't missed a beat with what our purpose is and how we want to play on offense and how we want to play defense. You know, the holy grail is always, what's our identity? You know, who are we? What's our structure? What's our identity? And because we've had so many different people over the years come in and out of the program, you at times it gets a little bit, you know, off kilted with what you all would see on the floor. Like, we haven't sort of flinched of how we want to play. We want to play with pace, we want to play with space, and we want to guard. And guard is the first thing that we need to do to grow the program. And I think slowly you're starting to see that take shape.
Have you seen their attitudes in game? You know, yesterday Milwaukee went up 10. Charlotte game, they hit you with that run in the third quarter. Is their poise, composure, has that changed at all with success coming along in game, have you found?
I think slowly, as you'd expect, they get more confident, comfortable, you know, as the game gets either closer or toward the end. I think the thing that I saw for the first time yesterday in a big way is they hold each other accountable. Like, I've always felt when, and you've heard me all say this, I don't want this program always being run from the top down. The players determine culture and behavior and standards and what's acceptable. And to look over my shoulder in a timeout and look on a bench and see the players talking to the players about, that's not good enough, or we got to do this better. And it's candid conversation, it's real. At times it gets a little heated, and that's good. That's the way it should be. I'm seeing that part of the team's growth more and more and more, and I fully encourage it. That's when you really get to a level where it's there's a level of authenticity, there's a level of the program being real, where they can get on each other and not take it personally and come out of a timeout or halftime better for it.
who's been the foremost leader when you talk about that holding people accountable? Who stepped up in that role here midway through the season?
I think that everybody has had their moment. You know, I think Gerald and Irsan probably would hold that stage more than others, but at times Joel Embiid has come back and say, hey, you know, we have to guard. It's most times pointed to two areas. Just the acknowledgement that we are a defensive program and what's going on defensively does not reflect us. And the pieces, maybe it's a pick and roll thing, maybe it's a transition thing, but it's 80% directed toward defense, and then there will be a 20%, I say, pointed out toward just sharing the ball, moving the ball, playing with pace type stuff. And I like how we're trying to play offense for, say, 40 minutes of a 48-minute game. You know, there's always a period you just wish you had back, whether it was turnovers or quick, poor shots or just not sharing the ball or walking it up the floor. But by and large, I think our offense is starting to play with a rhythm and a pace that we want to. I think our defense has been very, very good lately.
If TJ can't go tomorrow, Chase and Randall, did he show you what you needed to see in that last game?
I think so.
Okay?
I think so. He came in, I think, when you start looking at his game, you can sort of see he made a shot, he played with tenacity. When you start looking at what we have access to, the physical measurements, his wingspan is elite. And so you sit him in a stance and he spreads out, he sort of uncoils. He really can cover some ground with his width, his length, albeit from a point guard position. And I think some of the deflections that he got and defensive plays that he made, I thought were outstanding.
Right. How has things have been different for you? Because for the first 3 years, you were basically trying to hold things together. You know what I mean? Trying to keep the shit together. Now all of a sudden you look at 6 out of 8. I mean, how has it been different for you from coaching wise?
I'm going to let you down. It hasn't been different. Like you don't do. You'd be lying if you didn't say you sort of see the world that seems a little bit prettier. But from the structural aspect of like what you're doing, we're just doing what we've been doing, truly. And it's so early with all of this. Like the winning for the city and for our fans. I mean, you can't sort of at times really explain it because we have all gone through that. For me personally or my staff, we're very greedy. You know, we're very sort of focused on just doing what we've been doing and not skipping steps, all those things that aren't real sexy, but they're true. And so for me, you know, you got to bounce to maybe how you see the world a little bit more joyful, but in general, you're just doing what we've been doing for 3 years.
But what about the difference in the guys themselves? Because surely
I do see that.
you must, right?
Yeah, absolutely, they're human beings. I see it in the support staff. I see it in the front office. You know, you feel it, that it's just you're getting validated for the things that we've been doing. You know, I can't say it enough. We don't do anything differently. We're just starting to get rewarded. And I'm pleased, like the spirit of our guys, just to even see them and feel the gym is at an all-time high. They are young, you know, they don't know what they don't know type stuff. And there's a tenacity and a competitiveness in the group that is emerging where, you know, they are prideful and they understand completely that we have to play defense and we have to be physical and we have to learn how to close out close games. And tomorrow we're going to go play against the best of the 4 teams that we've just tripped on, all playoff teams. Each one was a little bit better than the other as we moved on, and so now you're playing against a team that you would expect to probably play in the Eastern Conference Championship. Maybe could do something special and play in a final. They're a program that's been built over a number of years that have had a consistency, a core group. You know, I think Dwayne's done a heck of a job, and he's been around trying to lead that charge. And so they're a real benchmark for us, albeit at a very early stage, but the spirit has been excellent.
Brett, this momentum that you guys have now, is this the first time in your time here where you felt like we're really hitting this stride, or were there times in the past where you thought like maybe we could have something going?
there were times in the past, that you felt like you were moving it forward, and a trade was made, and something happened or an injury happened. I feel like right now is certainly as strong as it's been. There have been other times where you felt like we could crack this, you could break into something and get on a little bit of a run. Our version of success is still, watching Dario Saric improve. Imagine if, like Joel Embiid, who's a shoo-in for Rookie of the Year, where might Dario be in a conversation? He's having a heck of a year, and you start seeing the improvement of all of our guys. That stuff still excites me as much as the winning we've been doing, because we all can't get tricked. We're still about development. We're still about, growing our guys. The winning sure makes us all feel a little bit better and validates the work we put in. But I still wear that hat in a big way.
Coach, you call yourself greedy. You called yourself greedy just now. I know you say you're a receiver of information. I just want to get an update to make sure, as far as you know, nothing will change as far as Joel Embiid's restriction from here till the end of the season, correct?
That's what I know right now. That is correct.
But there is a possibility that it could.
I don't believe there is.
Okay.
Given the greediness, how impressive is it that you're doing what you're doing without Ben Simmons? And might that change?
I mean, I feel like Ben is a little bit to the point about big picture stuff. The program can absorb talent. I think the program's professionalism and the standards and the work ethic are excellent. My support staff, my coaching staff are excellent. It's taken 3.5 years to not flinch, to deliver a very linear message. And so Ben Simmons coming back in to let the program absorb Ben Simmons, or our future first round draft pick, or a future free agent, it's good to go. I think it's very much in place for people to come in here and succeed and to get better and to improve physically and mentally and skill-wise. And so Ben coming into this group that has worked hard while he has been away, and the coaching staff that I have so much time for, that helped me move this thing forward. I think that we're ready to take Ben in, and we all look forward to having him.
Joel, in any way, did you see the team kind of rally around Joel's all-star push through, I know that you stay off social media, but did you see that bring the team together anyway as they were trying to help him along?
I didn't. I missed that. I missed that.
Would you say that because you're a coach and you have that reserve vote, and people haven't seen maybe Joel in person because of some of the games he's missed, do you think he has a good chance by your peers to get the recognition
I
he
most
deserves?
definitely do. How can he not? Really, how can he not be a legitimate consideration for the All-Star game? You just go look around the league and you look at his skill set and you pair him up with other bigs. I hope his minute restriction's not going to hurt him. I hope the fact that we're now only slowly, getting some wins underneath us doesn't hurt him. I hope they look at his personal body of work in the environment that he's done it, where he hasn't played basketball for 2.5 years, and he's come into the NBA and is doing what he's been doing, albeit for 30, whatever it is now, games. How can you not walk out of a building and say, "You kidding me?" Defensively, jaw-dropping type, competitive plays. Offensively, a menu of skills and a variety of ways to score. And then just look at the numbers when he's on the court or he isn't. And, look at just math on the impact he has on a team. How can he not be a legitimate consideration for this game?